Well, it's unfortunate, but the GPT-4o model is no longer available in ChatGPT. So if you open ChatGPT, whether it is the desktop, web, or mobile version, you won't see that model anymore. You cannot chat with ChatGPT, GPT-4o in ChatGPT. And naturally, this upsets quite a lot of people because despite being older, despite being inferior compared to the latest models in ChatGPT, this model, GPT-4o, has its own personality and charm, and basically the model is slightly more agreeable, it is slightly more understanding and more human, and that's why losing access to this model is almost like losing a friend. So that's why lots of people are unhappy about this decision, and they are pressuring OpenAI to bring back this model, although I don't think that's going to happen. I think OpenAI has all the reasons and incentive to just use the latest model. And as you mentioned, GPT-5 is cheaper to run compared to the GPT-4 models. So the question is there a way to chat? Is there a way to bring back GPT-4o and chat with that model again? Well, at least there are two ways that you can try. So first, you can use something like an AI wrapper. So there are many AI wrappers out there on the internet. One of them is OpenRouter. So here you can select the GPT-4o model. You can chat with that model again via this platform. And also there are many other variations that you can chat with. Now, the downside of using an AI wrapper like this is usually you have to pay slightly higher. So here, for example, in OpenRouter, you have to pay the service fee. So basically, there is the cost of the OpenAI API. There is a fixed price that was decided by OpenAI, but if you're using that via OpenRouter, then they're going to charge you a bit higher. I think it was 5.5% higher than the original API cost, but in return you can get this nice user interface. You can also use various features right here, but still, despite being, looking nice and quite useful, quite usable, this method is not the best because you're losing access to other cool tools in ChatGPT. So I do recommend to go with the second method. So I stumbled upon this post on Reddit. It was published 12 days ago, and I'm recording this video on February 18, 2026. So this is before OpenAI removed GPT-4o from ChatGPT. And here, the user is posting this. I think this is a speculation. This is a presumed system prompt that was used by OpenAI when they're still running GPT-4o in ChatGPT. Now, I have no way to verify this, but when I'm testing this as a custom instruction in my ChatGPT account, the answer is actually becoming a bit warmer and slightly more human, friendlier compared to the default setting in the ChatGPT. Right now, it's using GPT 5.2. So this is one example. This here on the left is the default setting. It's using GPT 5.2. This one on the right is also GPT 5.2, except I'm using this system prompt as the custom instruction in ChatGPT. So right here, as you can see, the default answer from GPT 5.5 is a bit longer, and it is not a bad answer. I think it is quite a good answer. But the style of this version, the version that with the ChatGPT GPT-4o personality, is different. First, it is shorter, and I actually have read it, and it is indeed more human. It is friendlier compared to this version in the default setting, which is GPT 5.2. So if you are interested, you can use this system prompt as the custom instructions in ChatGPT. To do that, you can just copy the prompt, and actually we'll put that in the description down below. You can copy it, and after that, you can open ChatGPT, go to profile, navigate to personalization, and then here you can insert that in the custom instruction section. And click save, and there you go. So you can now start chatting with the latest model in ChatGPT, but now it will have a somewhat close personality to the GPT-4o model. Now, honestly, there is no guarantee that it's going to be behaving this way because ChatGPT, OpenAI will always constantly adjusting or fine-tuning the system, the actual system prompt in the platform. So in some areas it might be close to the GPT-4o, but in other areas it doesn't change anything. So I think you have to play around with the prompt and see which variation that will bring you the closest to the GPT-4o experience. And as you mentioned, there are other settings like base, style and tone, characteristics, warm, enthusiastic, headers and lists, and of course emoji that you can adjust to make the experience to be very similar to GPT-4o. And by the way, in the same post, someone posted this comment. So this is another variation that you can try. You can insert this as the custom instruction, and you can also put this as the more about you box. So you can find that box in this area. Let me just open it. Right here, you can scroll down and you can put that right here in the more about you section. Now, I have tried that, but I would say this version is a bit better. I would say it is a bit closer to the GPT-4o personality, at least during my testing. So again, I think you can use this as a temporary alternative to still at least access GPT-4o or something similar to GPT-4o directly in ChatGPT, because that way at least you can still access the memory, you can have all the features and settings in ChatGPT without using any other third-party platform. So I hope you find this video to be useful, and hopefully you can make ChatGPT to feel similar to GPT-4o once again. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Have a great day.